All right, I wanted to come on here real fast, play a video that I just recently saw on social media. And it got me thinking about how people tend to, we're just talking about the naysayers, man. And it was really after the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. You're always going to see moments of triumph. And shout out to Saquon Barkley. You're my favorite football player in the National Football League. And there's a lot to pick from, but you, my friend, are just an incredible athlete. You're a fucking specimen. But I want to give props to not just you, but your quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Jalen, amazing job. Of course, you had the beauty of playing alongside with some great teammates, offense and defense. You guys all put it together, and it was fantastic. But I wanted to focus on a video that was on my IG that I recently saw, and it was pertaining to the naysayers and the critics that Jalen Hurts had. And I'm just going to play a little bit from it because I just thought it would be something that we could really enjoy. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on it as I scroll through and figure this out. Just give me 1 second. It was right here.
Takeaway on Jalen Hurts is I don't think he's a franchise quarterback.
I don't think Jalen Hurts is their quarterback for the future. It's a franchise quarterback that you're going to stick with and say, I'm going to go win a Super Bowl.
I love Jalen Hurts, but I'm not sure he's the quarterback of the future for this franchise. Let me be very, very clear. Jalen Hurts is not impressive.
I respect a lot about Jalen Hurts, but I think Jalen Hurts is also like the most overrated player in football.
I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to lead Philadelphia or any NFL organization to a Super Bowl.
Yes, freaking love it. I love it. I wanted to share that because there's so many times where we hear these critics and they're not going to go away. All right. First and foremost, these people get paid to criticize professional athletes. We tune in to hear from these pundits and whatnot. We want to hear not just the positive stuff, like, hey, this guy's phenomenal and this and that. We usually want to hear the negative stuff too. It kind of forms our opinions or goes against our views of that certain individual or team. And in this case, it was Jalen Hurts, a starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, who is now a Super Bowl champion. It made me think of the times where people would tell me or talk about me on interviews as I was coming up in the NPC, winning the Mr. USA. I remember winning the USAs in 2005 and people saying, oh yeah, he's great, but he doesn't have the size. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have this. I don't see this. I don't see that. When they really didn't recognize the true origin of my story. I hadn't even competed more than 2 years. And that meant actually training. Jalen Hurts hasn't been in the league a whole lot of time, but these guys were just in their mind thinking what you just heard. He is not impressive. He is not the quarterback that is going to win a Super Bowl. Man, I really would not want them to ever be my fortune teller. And I'm always wondering why someone would go out there and to say something like that. Now, I'm not saying you're supposed to kiss everybody's ass. I'm not saying that. I also commentate the Mr. Olympia contest, and one of the things I always try to maintain is a level of composure when I'm criticizing someone. I always try to see as what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are. But usually I don't say when it comes to someone who has certain abilities that it is impossible or they're not impressive. That would be like me telling a top 5 guy that they're just not impressive enough to win the Olympia when majority of the people who have won placed outside of the top 5. I mean, 8-time Mr. Olympia Ronnie Coleman placed out of the top 10 at one point. Jane Cutler, 4-time Mr. Olympia, the same thing, to win multiple times later. I'm sure people told them, and in fact, they did say that they would not win. And in this case, Jalen Hurts was told in this video that he's just not good enough. And, those dreams are just not going to come true. The beautiful thing about this is that they're wrong. The greater part is that guys like Jalen Hurts, if I were to sit down with him, I'm pretty sure he would agree on this. He didn't have to use that as fuel. It might have been a little bit of a reminder to go out there and do his job and be a great teammate and be a great leader. But to use that solely as fuel, nah, that's not going to get it. I truly believe that real champions have something about them that is about their legacy. What do they dream about? What did they overcome? The blood, sweat, and tears, like what was that? The different whys in the road that they had to make decisions. They had to adapt from early childhood to teenage years to now being a fully functional adult. Managing relationships, the different sacrifices, all those things. They had to deal with the dreams, the bad dreams, the great dreams, usually a lot of nightmares, okay? Because when you want to be great at something, you're obsessed with it. And what's funny I find is that there's so many criticizing people out there that don't take this into account. Now, I'm not saying they're supposed to be soft. What I'm saying is that they're fucking wrong majority of the time. And what's neat about that part is that when you see someone like Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, when they look back at that, they don't have to say, hey, I proved you wrong. See, when you're a kid, I believe, and even as an adult, like sometimes you want to prove someone wrong. Like, yeah, I was right this whole time. I was fucking right. Like, shame on you. Shame on you. You're never going to be right in their eyes. You have to let it be a reminder that you were right all along. They are always going to be there. Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter which journalist. There's going to be people that are always going to, think that you're going to win, and there's going to be people that are going to think that you're going to lose. It's okay. And one of the things that I wanted to read to you was a beautiful speech by Theodore Roosevelt. It reads, it's The Man in the Arena. That's the title. And it reads, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. But who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause? Who, at the best, knows in the end the triumph of high achievement? And who, at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who knew neither victory nor defeat." It actually gets me kind of emotional when I read that, because those people who are trying to edit your legacy, they don't know what you went through. I encourage you to always look deep within yourself when people dismiss you, when they dismiss your emotions, when they dismiss your feelings toward the things that you want in life. And that's why when you read online, there's times where people will say, and we've all seen these stoic quotes out there that don't share your dreams with other people because they just might try to sabotage you. They just might want to throw shade on you. I still remember when I won my first Olympia and how hard it was just for me to get there. And I had a dream. I had a dream that I would win 10. In fact, one of my best friends, Jay Cutler, said, "I think he can do it." And I ran with that dream. And I remember sharing that dream because I wasn't afraid to declare to the world what I wanted. But let me be clear. It was really hard to declare it, to work hard toward it, and then to hear people who I have in some ways respected, say that I was out of my mind for daring to dream. I ended up winning 7 consecutive 2-day Olympia competitions. No one has ever done that. And I'm very happy and very proud that I can say that, because I dared to dream. And I dared myself each and every day to go after what was mine. And I want you guys to be encouraged to do the same. I want you to remember what we're talking about here. I want you to remember to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what the hell do I want in life? And how am I going to get it? How resourceful can I be? Who can I trust? And if I look like this and I don't see anybody, I can always look in that fucking mirror and know that I can deliver myself, because I can trust me. And I have to get so good at trusting my emotions that I don't react to the naysayers, but that I respond to what my heart desires. Jalen Hurts, you're a Super Bowl champion along with your great teammates of the Philadelphia Eagles. I wish you nothing but the best. Godspeed. And for all those out there, and I want you to remember one major thing. You don't have to prove them wrong. You can make sure that you prove yourself right. And it's going to be fucking exciting, because the impact is going to overshadow anything that those naysayers could ever do. Peace out.
Hey boy, I love when they doubt you. I love when they doubt you, boy. I love when they doubt you. They can't with you. It ain't over. Hey, dog. You that man. They can't with you, dog. I know.